Yes, I'm now live. You left some out. Hello, hello. All right, bye, honey. Hey, happy Sunday. All right, still here. Happy Sunday. How are you? Try and screen record this as well because last time Instagram did not allow me to save the video and I didn't like it. That's why. Hey, happy Sunday. I'm just sitting here eating candy. I said it was hot earlier and somebody corrected me that it's not hot, it's humid. Either way, I don't like it. Chicago is good. People got their shipment of fireworks, so it's been lit. Um, it's been good. We've had some warm days. I think the cold is finally going away, but the rain is coming. It's been good. It's been cool. Yeah, humid is not great. I'm eating this candy because I'm hungry. I went to the grocery store before this, and I was like, oh my god, it's 2 o'clock. So I'm gonna eat after this, but just snacking and making bad decisions in the meantime. Um, Today I'm gonna talk about affirmations. If y'all have questions, you can use the question feature and ask me some questions. If you want to share this live with somebody, please do so. Cause I'm gonna just be here talking. Um, what are y'all doing in y'all Sunday? I feel like I come on live midday and interrupt folks' day, but then I realize everybody but me knows how to sleep in, and so this might not be midday. This might be the start of your day. It's nap time for me. But I'm gonna talk about affirmations because I think they're cool. Good afternoon. But also because I think they're important. You guys know I do accountability coaching. I'm going to start that back up again. I'm going to put my website. So if you're interested in having a coach, being a part of an accountability group, you can go to the website and find out how. What am I eating? Sour punch stuff. Um, Hi, Mr. Mays. I started learning about affirmations, and once I did, I realized. Sorry, I'm dropping stuff. That in some ways I had already been doing affirmations in my life, right? Um, when I was in second grade, it was my first time having a black teacher. And I remember the first day of school being really nervous because prior to that, so I'm gonna try to make a long story short. I was born in Los Angeles, South Central LA. We lived there up until I was about 5, and then my family moved to Palmdale, which at the time was virtually all white. If you're watching uh, the series Them on Amazon Prime, that was what Palmdale was like in the time that I lived there. So when I started school, we went to a year-round school. I was the only black kid in class, um, which I didn't I didn't know that I was black at that time, if that makes sense to y'all. But a white kid quickly let me know that my skin was burnt or dark, and I found out, right? So, trying to make the long story short, about a year and a half after we moved to Palmdale, my dad died, which meant we then moved from Palmdale to Oakland. And not second grade, first grade was the first time I had a black teacher, this black woman. And in the class, there were like all of these, what I would now call affirmations. I didn't know they were affirmations at that time, but all these really positive phrases. I went to Park Elementary School in Oakland, which, went from virtually all white school and white area to living in Alvin Groom housing projects off of MacArthur in Oakland, which is virtually all black. I went to the school, and the black teacher, she had like all of these phrases like "black is beautiful," "I am somebody," um, my like all of these different phrases like "I am beautiful," "I am lovely," "I am dark and lovely," like things like that, right? And she would make us say them like every day. And then she had this song, and I'm not gonna start singing for y'all, but it was like this song, this really positive song that we used to sing. It's called "Gotta Be." I'm gonna find out who sings it. I'm about to figure that out right in a minute. And we used to sing it every morning. And I didn't realize that this had an impact on me, right? Because I'm in the first grade. I didn't know that I needed that, but this teacher felt like us as young black kids needed that. And so, you progress through your school life, and I felt like in elementary school, when I had a black teacher, that black teacher went the extra mile to affirm things in their black kids, right? If I came to school or I came to school and my hair wasn't done, my black teacher would be like, "Oh my God, I love your hair. Come here." And she would fix it and, fix my barrette or braid my hair back. Or if, I was having a bad day, she would, teachers would say like, pick your head up and smile. Don't have your head down. Look up to, like, there will always be like these positive things said. All that to say, when I was out at elementary school, I pretty much no longer had black teachers. Maybe all the black teachers just wanted to teach young kids. I don't know. Yes, it's by Desiree or however you say it. Thank you, Brother D. So as I progressed through school, I'm a kid. I'm a person. I go through things, and I'm young, and I'm learning how to build my esteem, right? So I didn't have, or felt like I didn't have the tools or skills that I needed to to level my mind, right? Because as you all know, young or old, you go through things that tend to tear you down emotionally. And you may or may not know how to handle them because you don't have the skills, because you don't have the support, the community. You haven't developed that discipline, that practice of really, one, getting to know yourself, two, honoring yourself, and then three, loving yourself. And I say that in that order because people always say, love yourself first and nobody else will. There's a couple steps before the love, right? Even that self-love. And so really getting to know myself, right? And building that muscle helped me to get through those parts, right? So when I became an adult and I was going through my life and being in dark places in my life, I just kept thinking to myself, like, I need to tell myself something different, right? I would have a bad day, or I was going through depression, and I would say, life sucks. I hate it here. Nobody cares about me. I don't love myself. I'm ugly. I'm stupid. I'm all of these things, right, that we tell ourselves. Sometimes I would just say it in my head. Sometimes I actually said it out loud. But I was saying these things. I was putting it out into the universe, right? And so the more that I said these things, the more I started to feel these things. And those feelings, as much as people say, what's that phrase? Feelings aren't facts. You feel something for long enough. In fact, there is this, and I learned this by watching House. Do y'all watch House, that show? About the medical show? House? You should watch it. But I learned through House, there's actually a medical condition, a disease, right? I guess disease, medical condition. I'm not a scientist, don't judge me. But about women, right, who desire very strongly to be pregnant, but for whatever reason they can't conceive, right? There's a condition that women who think about it, psychological condition, actually start to show signs of pregnancy. Weight gain in the abdominal area, morning sickness, fever, swollen feet, like all of the pregnancy symptoms without having actually conceived, right? Think about that. So what we think about is very true. What we think about, we can actually bring about, right? So thinking about something whether or not you think you are, you're actually meditating on it when you're constantly thinking about something. That's why people say worry is a waste of time. Because if you're worried about something, you're going to bring about that worry and that fear, right? You're manifesting it. So, thinking about things, feeling things, and constantly being stuck in that cycle of negativity, so to speak, right? You're thinking about things, you're feeling things, you're going to become those things. And so I would say those things to myself. You know, I had different relationships I was in. I was not feeling good about myself, and that person didn't affirm for me how I thought they should affirm for me, right? Because you're in a relationship, you look for that person to complete you, your other half, right? The love of your life. And I was saying to myself, you know, I don't feel good about myself. This person should be telling me I'm beautiful, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm all of these things, right? And they weren't doing none of that. But also, neither was I. I wasn't doing it for myself, and they weren't doing it. And so here I am stuck, right? Stuck in the muck of like, life sucks for me. And I kept saying to myself, like, okay, I need to tell myself something different. And at the time, you know, when I first started taking affirmations more seriously, right, I'm making the connection. I was living in New York and I was riding the train. And if you ever been on the train or the BART train or whatever city has a train, you know, most of the time the train goes from underground to above ground, and sometimes you're high up in the ground, whatever. I remember being on the one train going to my school, and I remember seeing a building. In New York, you know, their buildings go super high. Not the same so much in California, not even here in Chicago. They don't build up too high, but buildings super high. And I just remember seeing windows. Some of the windows was open. Some people were like drying their clothes outside the window. Some people were looking through the window. Some windows was closed off. I remember thinking, you know what? Each one of these little windows, there's somebody in there. And somebody, all these people have stories, right? I don't know them. They don't know me. I'm just on the train riding past their window. Now, in my mind, right, because you guys know I wanted to be a writer. In my mind, as I'm on the train, I'm starting to craft little stories about who might be behind this window, right? I'm like, oh, that person's drying their clothes. Maybe they don't have, you know, maybe they got a washer in their apartment, they don't have a dryer. Or maybe they're poor, how I used to be poor when I was growing up, and they washed their clothes in the bathtub and they hung them out on the line. They probably have kids, right? I'm making up this story as I'm sitting on this train. And then it just hit me. I thought to myself, you know what? If I, in my mind, can craft somebody else's reality, right? People I never met. I'm looking at a window and I'm like, ooh, this is their life story. I'm on the train looking at a stranger. I'm like, ooh, they must have came from work. They must have did this, right? If I can craft a storyline, I can envision and imagine somebody else's reality, then I could do that for myself. I could think a different thought, right? Because somebody might be looking at me sitting on this train and thinking, wow, she's got it going on. I could think that for myself, right? I can create my reality. And I said that in my head. And because I was trying to be a writer, I had a little notebook. I put out my little notebook on the train, and people are hella nosy on the train if you've ever been, on public transit. As I scribbled in my little notebook, and I still have the book today. I might go get it for y'all in a minute. And I wrote, I can create my reality. And I said, if I can create my reality, I can, right? I wrote, I can create my reality. I wrote something like, I can get to a place where I'm happy, right? And that was the start of my affirmation journey. And because I kept this little notebook with me everywhere, right? So where I was going to write down all my little writing ideas and stuff. And I was taking public transportation often, going back and forth from school to work and visiting people that I no longer talk to. I was writing a lot, so I saw it a lot, right? And I realized that that was a real mental shift for me. It wasn't just, I think sometimes we go through things and we're waiting on a miracle, not realizing we are the miracle. Our words are the miracle. Our imagination is the miracle, right? If you can perceive or think something differently, right? All it takes is that mindset shift for you to make a change, right? So I started using affirmations then. And I felt like affirmations were a way for me to really focus my attention, to calm my emotions, but also to have greater clarity and control over my own life, right? I was calling the shots, literally, because I was speaking the affirmations into and over my life, right? I didn't have to wait for anyone to tell me I was beautiful, because I got up every morning, I looked at my list of affirmations, and that was on my list, right? All of the things that I wanted to feel, all of the things that I wanted to be, I wrote it down. Now, it's not like if you ever seen Candyman, it's not like that. Like, you don't say I'm beautiful in the mirror 3 times and then boom, you get that instant Instagram filter. It don't work like that. But it definitely helped. And so I started saying to myself in the mirror, right? And if you want to talk about mirror talk, I'm going to actually do a workshop on this about mirror work, but I talked about it in a previous live where Janet Jackson taught me about self-love, right? I said it in the mirror because I needed to see myself saying it, right? I needed to hear it in my voice. There are plenty of apps, and you can go on YouTube right now and do self-love affirmations or whatever, but it's somebody else's voice, right? And that seemed very fraudulent to me because that put me back into the cycle of my depression of waiting on somebody outside of myself to affirm or confirm something within myself. I had to do it for myself. I needed to hear it. It needed to be my own words said in my own voice to myself. And so at the time, I had a different phone. I didn't have an iPhone at the time, but I recorded myself saying it. And when I would ride the train, I added it to my playlist. I don't know what I was listening to music on, but like this is before Apple Music or any apps like that. But however it was, I was able to put this in my playlist. It was like a 40-second something, and I just made like random, going to work playlist, and I put that on there. And I always put any playlist I have, I always put it on shuffle. So I'm listening to songs. I'm listening to, say my name. And then boom, my affirmations. It would catch me off guard, but it would alert me, right? Me calling to myself and calling to my spirit like, boom, I am beautiful. I can create my own reality. I'm becoming stronger and better every day, right? In the mix. Because so much people always say like, oh, I like listening to music when I work or when I work out or when I'm driving. And I zone out. You're not really zoning out. Your subconscious is picking up on all of that. I would tell kids that all the time. I would be in class, kids would be like, can I listen to music? What are you listening to? It would be something about somebody shooting somebody, killing somebody. You don't need to listen to that. Not while you're journaling. Not while you're writing my essay. Right? That's getting buried into your subconscious. And you don't realize, but music is a major mood changer. Even if you tell yourself, I just like the beat. Right? That song, I was playing it the other day, Mask Off, right? Now, you sitting here, mask off. People are like, oh my God, I like the beat, the violin or whatever. But just say to yourself, Percocet, Molly Percocet, right? That's all you're hearing in your mind. So in your mind, you're like, oh my gosh, I have a headache. Tylenol won't do. I need some Molly, right? Y'all are probably laughing, but this is real. It gets buried in your subconscious. So instead of just mindlessly listening to music, I want to hear something that is going to empower myself. So I started recording my affirmations. And then as I started to add more and more affirmations, I started making like little affirmation playlists, if that makes sense. Like I would have my self-love affirmations. I would have my career affirmations, and I would, center them and put them in this playlist and make it happen. Now, when I started my accountability coaching, right, I was met with some pushback about affirmations. Now, if y'all have questions about affirmations and stuff, hit the question button so I can answer these when I get to the end. But I had this one client who was like, yeah, I know people say affirmations work, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I can tell myself anything. Like, why would, putting I am in a statement really work? I don't get it. And I was like, yeah, you can tell yourself anything. Why continue to tell yourself negative things? Why not tell yourself positive things? And they were like, well, Isn't this like toxic positivity? No, right? Toxic positivity is really overlooking your emotional state, right? So let's say I have a headache, right? But I'm exercising toxic positivity. I might say, you know what? I don't have a headache, right? I am amazing. I am super healthy. Nothing bothers me, right? Let's say that headache, turns into something serious. Now it's not just a headache. I have a knot on my head. And I'm like, huh, I don't see no knot. What knot? I'm healthy. I'm fine, right? That would be something toxic, right? Trying to ignore what's actually there. What affirmations do is to help you affirm the things that you are becoming and are building towards. Now, for some people, they do get caught up on the actual phrasing of it, which is a very small thing. People are like, if I say I am and I don't believe that I am, immediately my mind is going to say, no, you're not. And that might happen, right? If I say what's this real? I am healthy, I am wealthy, right? And then I don't believe that because I'm actually looking at my reality, right? My affirmation is trying to create a new reality, but I'm looking at my current reality. And I'm like, you're not healthy, you're not wealthy, you're actually poor, right? This is why you have to continue to say the affirmation. Because you have to build, I don't know why this word is popping into my head. It's probably not the right word, but I believe it's called a synapse in your brain. Somebody look that up. Again, I'm not a scientist, okay? But you have to make that impression in your brain, right? Somebody once told me, the mind is like an ATM machine. The ATM machine is not going to give you any money if you don't have any in the bank, right? So you got to put things in so that you can reach for them later and take them out, right? So you put the affirmations into your mind so that when you come across that negative thought, you can combat it with a positive thought, okay? If I'm sitting around constantly for years telling myself I'm ugly, I'm not worthy, I'm stupid, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that, right? And then one day, I change that and I say, I am becoming a better person each day. I am worthy of happiness. My mind is going to be like, okay, Brandy, you got 157,000, I hate, I'm not, and now you got this one I am. You have to combat it. So you have to keep saying it. It's a practice. You're training your mind. You're rewiring your brain to think something new. It doesn't happen overnight, right? But you got to keep saying it. So that eventually, the things that you have spoken into the universe actually start to become your reality. I remember the first time, I'm doing my affirmations. I'm in college. And mind you, when I was younger, I'm not going to say I didn't think I was pretty, but people always pointed out that I was dark. Okay? When I was probably darker than I am now. I don't know what happens, why people get lighter over time or whatever. But when I was younger, people always would point out that I was dark. And the fact that I did go to school with like early in my life, I went to school with like a lot of white kids. And so they would always be like, oh my God, like, wow, you're black for real. Like, you're not just brown, like, you're black. Long story short, I remember, being young, being in college. I think I told this story before. If you watch all my lives, then you probably heard a lot of these stories before. But, I was young. I would consider myself a late bloomer. Like, I didn't start liking boys when other people started liking boys. I shouldn't say a late bloomer. Mentally and emotionally, I was kind of a late bloomer. But physically, I started to develop really young. Like, third grade, I was wearing a bra. Like, I developed physically young. But mentally, when I was in middle school and a lot of my friends were, they had boyfriends, they were having sex, like, my mind was not there. not ready, right? When I was in high school, I started liking boys, right? Again, I always point out that was dark. Like, yeah, you pretty for a dark skinned girl, or you cute, but you dark. Probably not until I was in college did I really start to see myself as beautiful. Now, my stepdad used to hype me up all the time. My stepdad used to be like, oh my God, I love your hair. Like, you're so beautiful. Like, you're chocolate brown. You look like Janet Jackson. Like, all of this stuff, right? Like, my stepdad used to call me Janet, which is probably why I like Poetic Justice so much. Anywho, it wasn't until I was in college, right? And I remember, because I'm saying my affirmations, right? I do my affirmations in the mirror. I have my little playlist going. I remember I was working at Mandy's, which is like a Forever 21, but it was in the Bronx. And I had to go to the fitting room to clean out the fitting room. I don't know why y'all go in the fitting room and just throw shit everywhere. Like, somebody has to come clean that up. At the time, that was me. I don't know why y'all do that. Anyways, retail horror stories. We could talk about that too. But anyways, I remember going into the fitting room, picking up all these clothes. And in the fitting room, there was a mirror. I remember catching myself in the mirror, right? I was just like, ooh. Right? Catching all the angles. Like, you are so beautiful. And I got caught up in this whole mirror thing, right? Like, I was like really looking at myself to the point it was like somebody else trying to get in the fitting room. I'm like, damn, like, don't you see me seeing me? Hello? And I remember that, right? And I went home that day, home to my dorm after work, right? And I went in the bathroom and I stared at myself some more. I remember I went out because I'm always writing. I wrote in my journal, it was like, today is the day. I want to remember this date. This is the day that it finally hit me. This is the start of the self-love, Brandy. Like, you are feeling yourself and you didn't need anybody else to tell you. Nobody had to affirm it for you. You affirmed it for yourself. And with that, you are unstoppable. That is the confidence that I thought, I didn't know how somebody else was going to give it to me, but that's what I thought I was going to get from other people. Right? That was like what I was looking for. And the whole time it was me, like we've been looking for stuff and looking for people to, basically like, be for us what we should be for ourselves. We do things in hopes that people see it and they like it and they'll congratulate us. And somehow we think that that's supposed to, affirm for us that we are worthy or that we are valuable. But none of that matters, right? It might matter to you now because you haven't done the work on yourself to see that happening. But I thoroughly enjoy myself. I might get on my stories and talk about how I'm lonely and yada, yada, yada. That's partly true. However, I do enjoy my alone time with myself. Like, I know that I am happy within myself and I can make myself happy, right? I was telling somebody this the other day, where they're like, oh, how would you respond? And again, let me go back. People always ask me for relationship advice. I don't know why, because I'm basically always single. However, I'm talking to my friend, and she was like, how long would you stay in a relationship if somebody wasn't making you happy? And I was like, well, in a relationship, I don't look for the other person to make me happy, because I'm coming to the relationship happy as hell by myself. Because I love myself and I'm a happy person. I'm going to smile a lot. I'm going to laugh at my own jokes. Like, I'm going to enjoy my own time. I'm going to, sip my own wine and have a good time with myself. So I bring my happiness, right? And I want to be partnered with somebody else that's happy and enjoying life so we can enjoy life together. But so many people look to other people. Like me and my son, we've been watching, well, not as of late, but we've been watching Sister, right? Trying to, have him relive my childhood. And it's like Tia and Tamara, once they found each other, right? Because remember, they had got adopted separately, but once they found each other, it's like they felt like they had to do everything together. And then it's the episode where Tamara had a friend and she was like, oh, I'm going to my friend. Tia was like, oh, I want to go. And then the friend was like, oh, I know you were going. It was just kind of like a us thing, right? And then Tia had a whole fit because her twin sister wasn't like doing everything with her, and she didn't realize, or she didn't understand, like, I should have some friends of my own. I should be able to go to the mall by myself without my twin. And a lot of people are like that in relationships, like, oh, I can't, ooh, Wish I could go to the movies, but I can't because I got to be with this person all the time, 100%. And then you don't do stuff by yourself, or you don't know what you want to do by yourself, or you just feel like you feel weird or awkward if you go out by yourself. I don't, because I'm myself. Black mama phrases my mom used to tell me all the time. You came into this world by yourself. You're going to leave by yourself. So while you're here, get comfortable being with yourself. Not to say that I want, all y'all to be out here single like me, but it would help because we can hang out. Y'all not hanging out with your spouses. But all that to say, the affirmations, I think affirmations really help, regardless of where you are on the journey. If you're not trying to be on a journey, I think affirmations really help bring clarity and fulfillment to your life, right? Where you get to really speak life, victory, and joy into yourself. Now, again, I mentioned two things: recording your affirmations, saying them to yourself in the mirror, but actually writing them down. It's so important that you say them out loud, but also writing them down, like hand writing them. I don't know what it is, and I'm sure it's something scientific. Again, I'm not a scientist, okay? But pen to paper, hand to writing utensil, writing stuff down matters, okay? Writing stuff down matters. People like to type. It is not the same. Your brain does not make the same connection than when you write something down, okay? Write it down, post it somewhere. I used to do this thing where I wrote different affirmations on Post-it notes, and I just posted them everywhere I go. In my classroom, in my bathroom, in my car. I loaned somebody a book, and they were like, oh, hey, you left this in here. Did you need this? No, these are yours now. I also did this activity with my friend Toy Nessa, and we all wrote down, this was a healing circle, and we all wrote down affirmations. And we just stuck them on the wall. And then we went and took other people's affirmations. It was like a take what you need thing. And so they were always visible to me and visible to other people. My students would be like, Miss V, what is this? That's an affirmation that I'm working on. Ooh, can I make affirmation? Yes, right? I'll put them everywhere. On my laptop, I have affirmations on my laptop right now. Have them everywhere so that they're visible, so that you could catch yourself off guard. Because I think so much as I talk about having a meditation practice, having a morning routine, all of that kind of stuff, we often use that as a retreat, right? And I've talked about this on the podcast a little bit. We set aside time to do things, right? And that becomes our escape from reality. But that's not really when you need that practice and to do those things. You need to do those things while you're operating in reality, right? I need to practice meditation the most, right? When I'm in the grocery store line and I've been waiting for 10 minutes and somebody cuts in front of me like I wasn't standing there. That's when I need, that's when I take my breath. And that's when I take it seriously, right? I need my affirmations, not when I first wake up in the morning and I'm having my, 15-minute meditation session followed by my sun salutations and my Erykah Badu music playing in the background. I need my affirmation, right? When I send that email to my boss and they send it back and they say, do this project over, right? When you get that essay back and it's written all over in red, right? When I shared an idea with somebody and they told me that they didn't like it, that's when I need to affirm within myself, right? I don't need a special holy moment at the end of the day where I'm sitting in silence away from everybody and I'm doing my I need it in those moments, right? Maybe I just had an argument with somebody and they just tore me down. I posted a picture on Instagram and I thought I was cute and nobody liked it. Somebody said I was ugly, right? All of that when I'm scrolling through social media, right? And I'm looking at pictures of other people and I'm thinking I'm not worthy and I don't match up. Everybody's celebrating a success and I haven't had a win in a while. That's when I need those affirmations. In my daily practice, in my daily routine, right? That's why I put them in my car, because I'm prone to road rage. Sometimes I just need to calm the fuck down. Right? So when I flip that visor down, right, and I see that affirmation, and it says, I am practicing patience in this moment. Woo! Somebody just escaped the wrath, right? And I say to myself, you're welcome. That's me saving myself from drama and trouble. I say, you're welcome, Brandy. Right? Brandy, old Brandy thought about future Brandy, and she put this here for you to stop you. Right? So that's what I got to say about affirmations. If you want help and support with affirmations, hit me up. Go to my website. Join my group coaching program, because we're going to start with affirmations. We're going to start in June. And we're going to get people to, get people further along their journey. I used to think that when I was doing accountability coaching, I was all about specific outcomes. People would be like, I want to lose 20 pounds. Boom, we losing 20 pounds. I want to start a business. Boom, we starting this business. I want to write a book. We're going to write this book. And I realized that for the most part, people could accomplish these goals by themselves. They don't need me to do that. Do people procrastinate? Yes. Do they have trouble getting started? Yes. Do people need reminders? Yes. But when people actually want to do something, they'll find a way to do it. And with or without me as their accountability coach, they would get to that end goal, right? I think for me, the switch that I made, the pivot that I made in my mind, was recognizing that my power and my strength, the support that I want to offer and give to people, is beyond tools and resources, right? Because everything is Googleable, right? But the outcome that I want for the people I coach to have is recognizing that joy in their life is possible and making a plan to make it a priority to get to that. Now, some people might feel joy, right, if they weigh less. Some people might feel joy if they start a business and can work for themselves. Whatever that joy is going to look like for you at the end of the tunnel, I want to help you get there, right? And part of that journey is, again, when I started my accountability, I was like, guaranteed 12 weeks with me and you're going to get this goal. And some people did, and I scared some people away, and there were tears, and, you all know me. But I think it makes sense for me to think about a longer term vision. So I want to work with clients, for a year to really help them through the journey. Because what happens is, and this is me evaluating my own self, people say, oh, I need an accountability coach. I'm trying to work on this goal. And, my program was 12 weeks. People get around 9 weeks, 10 weeks to be like, boom, got this, don't need you. And then, about 12 weeks after that, you check in with them about the goal and nothing has happened, right? Because I think people need more than tools and resources. I can give you a one-pager right now that tells you exactly how to reach your goal. And most people are going to look at that one-pager and they're not going to do anything on there because they're not ready, right? Because we have all of these different obstacles in the way. And so here I am, me, your spiritual beauty, your accountability coach, helping you to remove those obstacles or to find a way to get through those obstacles, because pretty much the obstacles aren't moving. That's what you learn. The obstacles don't move. You learn how to maneuver through the obstacles. And so that's what I'm here to help people do. So I'm starting that up in June. But of course, you could join anytime if you're not ready to join in June. I will still be here for you. I'm going to have an application process because I just want to work with people who are ready. And if you're not ready, I got some other stuff that can help you before you get ready. Like I'm going to bring back the 28 days to detox my life. I'm going to bring back some other tools and resources that you can have and use. But that's what I'm working towards. And anything else you can find on my website. Again, hopefully Instagram lets me keep this, but if not, I was screen recording. Y'all don't have no questions, so I'm going to cut it out. If you want to see the replay, you'll have to join my membership community to catch the replay. But other than that, I hope y'all have a good Sunday. Bye.